I took over running the unit February in this year. So I helped to form it, and I took over running it myself in February. And we've done some cool new things. Try to really focus on, I look at it as like the three branches. There's mental health, physical health, and financial health. And then there's also peer support, which can encapsulate all of those. Peer support is the day-to-day keeping an eye on each other, the we're all we got kind of mentality. And that is, kind of if you see something, say something. Well, we've always had the EAP program, which is if one of us or a family member needs professional help, they can get, you can get 6 free visits to start off. And then depending on the help you need, if it's something more advanced, they kind of reevaluate. And if you need more, they can get you more. So we have the EAP program. We have the doctors that we like. We try to encourage, with that, peer support's kind of in that too. And we try to just encourage, try to change the culture a little bit about, in the past, I think a lot of it has been like the way we think we bond with each other is without our families. It's the guys together. Oftentimes there's alcohol. So trying to change that culture a little bit and just sort of make it more family-based, because if it's more family-based, then people check on each other more. You kind of hold each other accountable. So that, we kind of upgraded our gym a little bit, and I try to push that a lot. Now we've got treadmills, ellipticals, we got a Peloton, kettlebells, sandbag workouts. Try to get real creative to make sure that the guys are in here as just another way of stress relief, And then financial health, which is actually, that's kind of one of the bigger ones. Everybody knows that there's on-the-job stress, but who fights about, people fight about money more than anything, right? That's a thing for us as well as it is for anybody else. And that's obviously, when there's money problems, that means marital problems also at times. And police officers tend to, because there's side jobs available, police officers tend to work a lot of them because it's available. It's one of the rare opportunities or occupations wherein if you're willing to work more, there's always jobs there. So what happens is people work more, and what does that do? That costs your family life a little bit. It costs your mental health a little bit. You're stationary more. And so you see how these things are all connected. It's one thing affects the other. So yeah, so that's kind of what I focus on. First and foremost, it's important to have the division because the statistics are crazy. The police officers we're finishing our career and we don't live real long afterwards, right? We don't have these long, wonderful personal lives after policing is over. And so that's a big problem. Our suicide rates are embarrassingly high. The last one I heard was 4 to 1, meaning a police officer commits suicide 4 times more than they get shot at work or traffic accidents combined. So other than a medical issue, it's 4 to 1 as far as how many times we are taking our own lives more than bad guys taking our lives, more than we crash. The numbers are crazy. Yeah. Yeah, the numbers are through the roof. And so that was, when I first started getting involved in this, I read that number and I was just like, oh my, I didn't know it was that bad. I knew that there was some depression, things like that, but it's staggering, the numbers. So that needs to happen, and it just needs to happen because what were we doing before to address it, right? Like, there's this old thing of you have to have thick skin or you shouldn't be in this job, right? Don't go on the road. If you can't do the job, don't do the job. But we take all this care to go to the gym. We work on firearms training. We work on emergency vehicle operations, all these things to keep us safe. But we are hurting ourselves more than all these things put together. And we're up until, about a year ago or so, we weren't doing anything, which is sort of like working, in my opinion, we were working small to big as far as what's hurting us, right? So that's why it's necessary, because we got to get those numbers down. And it shouldn't be all for nothing. Police officers work too hard to not have anything to show for it at the end, to be unhappy and to be broke and have poor health. It's well, what do we do all this for, right? Saving other people, but we don't save ourselves at all. So that's kind of my spiel on that. That's my rants about that. That's the part I feel I've been given this class in our mandated training, and I just feel very passionate about that part for sure.